Hey everyone, it's Vinh. Today we get to speak about one of my favorite topics, and the topic is palming. Normally when we palm cards, we have to palm it from the top of the pack, or we have to palm it from the bottom of the pack. But the move we're going to be talking about today, which is called the diagonal palm shift, allows you to palm the card while you're putting it back into the middle of the pack. I know it's ridiculous. Alright guys, let's say we took this 7 of spades out from the middle of the pack, right? If I return it to the middle of the pack about there, okay? If we lose it into the middle of the pack like so, you would say the 7 of spades is about there. I'd say about, no, wrong. I've actually palmed it out. For this move, you guys will need to learn the classic palm and be pretty familiar with it. Otherwise it's going to be fairly difficult, so make sure you learn that. Alright guys, I'm going to go through a quick overview so you guys can understand what the move is actually meant to look like as a whole, okay? So first of all, you just get any card, say this is the spectator's chosen card, and you can appear to put it in the middle. This is what it looks like. I'm pushing it in, it comes back out, so this is the current position I'm currently in there, but I'm holding it like this, okay? From this side you can't see it, and I roll that card out into a palm and spread the card on the table. You see, but here I already got the card palmed. Alright, let's go through step by step now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to break this move up into 2 parts, alright? The first part I'm going to teach you is how to get a spectator's selected card from this position into this position here, okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to teach you. Then the second part is how to get from this position here, from here, into a palming position, alright? So let's start with the first part. I'm going to show you guys from multiple angles, so this is just going to be from the top angle. It might be a little hard to see, but don't worry, I'm showing you more angles, alright? So let's say the spectator here chose the joker, alright? So we're in this position here. Look at my hand that's actually holding the rest of the pack here. I'm holding it in pretty much a mechanics grip, but my index finger is curled on the bottom, so I can do a one-handed riffle like so. Okay? Then I just go about halfway, and I put the card in about halfway. No more than halfway. If you put it all the way in, it's not going to work, okay? Then from here, what I'm actually doing is I'm pushing in the card on an angle. I'm not pushing it flush in, you see. I'm using my middle finger and I'm pushing it in on an angle like this. So if I show you the card like this, you're going to be able to see. There's a couple of pieces of the cards that's protruding out. One here, okay? One on top, that little bit there. One on the bottom, and the biggest part of the card sticking out over there, alright? So that's how you're kind of pushing in the card. That's a little bit exaggerated, but let me show you how much you would actually do it. So from here, I go to here, and when I push in the card, with the cover of my hand, I use my middle finger there, and I push in the card like so. You might be able to see better from a different angle. And then I get to this position here. So that's how much I would actually have it protruding out. A very small bit. Okay, so that's the position we're currently in. But also notice that once you push the card in, you actually change grips. The initial grip is this, right? So I'm here, riffle, boom. The initial grip is this. So I actually change it once I push it in. Once I push it in, I actually change my grip to this. So if you look at the grip there, middle finger's on top, thumb's on the bottom, and index finger is pushing down on the top like so. So that's the position you want to be in. Along with your thumb here just on the side, so you actually cover everything. So from that position, if I'm showing you, you cannot see that the card is protruding out. And once you get to this part here, it's just a matter of you actually pulling down with your thumb and your middle finger here, like so. Okay? And once you pull it all the way down and it can't go down any further because of this thumb here, you'll find that that's the position you need to be in order to get to the next part. Alright guys, like I said, I'm going to show you from a different angle so you guys can see it a little better, alright? I feel that the bottom view here is probably the best. So from here, let's say we took the 4 of diamonds here. I want to do it very slowly. I riffle the cards, put it in, push it in on an angle with the cover, use my thumb on my middle finger to drag that card all the way down to where it needs to be, and then you're in the position you need to be in, okay? I'm going to do it one more time, but very slowly, okay? So from here, the 4 of diamonds goes into the pack, I push it in on an angle like this, change my grip, you see, and drag that card down very slowly until I can't drag it down anymore and I should be in this position here. Now you guys are kind of stuck in this little awkward position here. Let's start part 2, alright? We're going to be able to get from this position into the card palmed into your hand, alright? So how do we do that? You see, you use your mechanics grip hand here. Use the pinky only, okay, just the pinky there, and you contact the bottom right-hand corner of the card that's currently sticking out like so. All right? And you're actually pivoting this card here around your thumb here. So I'm going to show you what I mean, all right? So I use the card, I use my pinky, sorry, and I pivot that card around into a classic palm position like so, all right? So I'm going to show you guys that one more time. So from the beginning, like you guys know already, put the card in, bring it in, drag it down like so. And I use my pinky here, I pivot it around the thumb till it gets to this position here. You see, so I can already know that it's in my palm nice and safely, and I'm able to palm the card, and that's how you get the card from that position into this position here. Alright team, I'm going to show you guys one more time from this bottom angle because I feel that it's going to probably add the most value. You see here, I'm going to use my pinky here, like I said before, to contact the bottom right hand edge, okay? And I'm going to pivot the card around this thumb here. So from here, this is what it looks like, okay? Boom, around the thumb into a classic palm position. Once I get to here, then I kind of move forward and spread the cards on the table. Just before we move on to the tips, I just want to say this. When you guys are pivoting this card into the palm, so picture this, say I was performing to you right now. If I pivot the card into a palm and I do that, you can obviously see the card. So you have to keep in mind that the card is going to be visible and you have the classic palm angles here. So as you get the card, you have to turn this hand over and drop your hand down by your side, you see? So I'll show you in real time. So from here, you take the card, push it in, drag it down, right? So now you're in this position here. So when I get the card into a classic palm, I make sure I twist my hand straight away and go down south with it. That way it's invisible the entire time and the spectators won't be able to see it. Tip number 1. You guys probably noticed that in the performance, I actually do the move, so I'll just do it from here, but I'll do it so you guys can see. So boom, I do the move and I palm the card, but you notice that I actually spread the cards out on the table. It's because that's a natural motion to go into once you've done the palm, and especially when you spread the cards like this, people's attention will focus on the spread and not so much on your hand. So it's just a method to really kind of distract the audience. I mean, I'll show you here. So say I took the card here. If I really did it like the way I did in the performance, if I spread here, your attention is here and it's not going to be over here where the card's actually palmed. So really move into this motion once you've done the move. Tip number 2. Over the years of actually using this move and practicing this move, I kind of developed a different control for it as well. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to want to palm the card out every single time, right? Sometimes you want the card just to be in the pack, but you want to control it, but you want to give it the effect of the card seeming to go in the middle, okay? So what I came up with this. I took the spectator's card there, I go, look, I'll pop it into the middle like so, okay, and look, we just square the cards up like this, and what I've actually done in that motion is I've controlled the card to the bottom. So I'm going to share with you guys how I actually do that. Alright guys, this is pretty much exactly the same, okay? So from here, the same deal, boom, drag it down to here. You take the card into a classic palm position, but instead of going south with this hand now, once you get into this position here, you immediately return that card to the bottom of the pack while you're doing a squaring motion, alright? So I'll show you guys one more time just briefly. Boom, drag it down, get it out into a classic palm, get it in back on the bottom of the pack and just square like so, and it literally looks invisible. The best angle to perform this particular sleight is to actually have the packet, this front bit here, aiming towards the spectator's eyes, okay? And just giving sufficient cover with your right hand as well. So what I mean is this, once you're doing the move, pop the card back in, show the spectators that it's in the middle, but don't do it like this. Don't perform it horizontal to the ground. Angle it up towards the spectator's eyes, okay? So if the camera were your eyes there, that's how I'd angle it. And from here, when I close a card, make sure I don't have any windows in my fingers. And when I close it on an angle like this. So you see, you probably won't be able to see anything from there. Even until I palm it, you can't see anything at all. So that's the best angle to have when performing the sleight. After you're in this position and you're stuck with a card palmed, then obviously you just have to make sure that you're on top of your classic palm angles. Other than that, that's it.